There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Destination University. We're running a special series this month, 30 Teens and 30 Dreams, following all of the dreams of 30 different students from around the country and outside of the country today, you'll see. And we're following and asking them what they did right and what they would do differently to pass on to others. And we'll hear today from Max and hear where he's headed to. So if you are a college-bound teen or a champion of one, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Welcome to Destination University. So you're going to meet Max today, and Max is from Ontario, Canada. I'll let him tell you all about who he is. But what I love most about Max is that he is true to himself. He is committed to climate change, which I just love different stories that he's told me. And he's headed to the States for college. So I'll let him tell you where he's headed. Before we dive in, I want to just make sure you know that if you do nothing else today, please head over to bigfuture.org. Bigfuture.org is part of College Board. And if you think College Board is just for SATs, you are wrong. There are lots of things you can do, and it's never too early to start building your list of colleges, figuring out what you want to major in, and finding careers that match exactly that. So get on over there, create an account, and get started today. All right, so Max, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you for being here. I know you're all the way in Ontario. You're on the what we would call East Coast Standard Time, and it's a Saturday morning. So welcome, Max. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. And how many more weeks do you have left of school?
I've got about 4 more weeks of school. 2 weeks of those are exams. But yeah, final stretch.
All right. Yeah, you are in the final stretch, and you look a lot less stressed than you were in the fall, right? Probably every season feels that way.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go ahead and dive in and get started. And just share with everyone kind of how you curated your list of colleges that you wanted to apply to. What were you looking for in a college for Max?
Yeah, I think for me, I wanted a college that would tailor to my interests. So obviously, like supporting the planet and having a community of diverse learners, which is sort of open to many different learning techniques. And I naturally found that universities such as like the University of Chicago and Dartmouth were quite good for that, especially in terms of the environment. And it's also quite nice to see, especially at the University of Chicago, that there's a very good sort of diversity of minds, especially in the creation of thought. So that's something I was looking for. Yeah, that was my main thing.
Right. And I love that you were looking for this sort of diversity of thought, and it came through in some of your essays that we went through. And I would say, I wonder, your interests are so varied. You've got, you're an entrepreneur at heart. You've got this commitment to global climate change. So where and how did those ideas come about, and how did you land on sort of the major that you wanted? So can you tie all those things together for us?
Yeah, I think my sort of commitment to nature came as a result of just being in nature for a long time. Like I have a place up north in Ontario, and I naturally spend like weeks up there. I think on average for like a typical summer day, I'd be outside for like 8 hours a day, maybe building trails, riding bikes, canoeing, all that stuff. So I think naturally that lends itself into generating a sort of mindset which is committed and interested in thinking about nature whenever I'm sort of making a decision for myself. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of economics, I think throughout my high school career, I found that economics is very in tune with how the world works. That's exactly what's focused on. And the sort of intricacies of the global economy, and I'm kind of interested in see if I'm up to the challenge of like sort of tying the global economy to focus more on sustainable development, especially like the UN development goals, which at the moment is happening, but I don't think it's happening fast enough.
Mm. I love the way your mind works and sort of tying sort of the world's problems with the economy and sustainability and those kinds of things. And how were you able to, so, moving on into, settling on economics, let's talk about things that you did right in this process, not just in the last, several months, but over the course of time, from your first year in high school to now. So let's talk about that, and then we'll also weave into what you did right in the actual application process. So globally speaking, what do you think you did right in this process?
I think if I'm looking at sort of the course of my high school career, one of the best things would be sort of my extracurriculars. Like I'm always very focused on doing what it is I want to do. I don't really like creating sort of a scripted portfolio, like just for your resume. So I think, I don't know, when we were first talking about my resume, you were kind of surprised when I was like talking about being an archaeologist and sort of a volunteer photographer. And it's sort of stuff like that, which I enjoy doing, but I think it helps me to develop a constant theme. So obviously with nature, I'm interested in doing quite a bit of different things. But within everything I do, there's always sort of a focus towards that. So I think within my application, when I was sort of tying all the activities together, I was creating this theme where each of my activities would sort of link back to sort of my sustainable focus. And I think developing that throughout my high school career was quite beneficial. I think also just during the more immediate writing process for my application, just sort of not necessarily sticking to the script, that was incredibly beneficial for me. I think for my my best essay that I wrote was done in like 15 minutes or something, and it was just completely free verse off my mind. Yeah. So that's the best thing for me.
What was your favorite essay? I know I have a couple of favorites of yours, but what was your favorite essay?
My favorite is definitely my milk essay, where I had to replace a celestial object in the universe with some sort of inanimate thing, and I chose milk for whatever reason. Yeah, I guess it ended up working. So
yeah. So one of the things that Max, if you didn't pick up on it, is a golden nugget he just dropped is there's a theme. There was a theme every time he did a different co-curricular. There was sort of a theme that tied or threaded them together in a nice bow. And so students don't always realize that that's what they're doing, but if they're committed and passionate about something, there usually is clearly a theme and a passion that comes through. And that's good to be able to connect the dots for the reader when the time comes for the application. So just wanted to point that out for our viewers and listeners. Okay, we're going to come back to the milk essay because it's really a really great one. But is there anything, is there any advice that you would give? Is there something that you would do differently if you had to do it over again? God forbid, right? If you had to do this process over again, what advice would you give to yourself?
Yeah, I think the first thing I do is prepare a bit more for the task at hand. I think I came in kind of blind. I think when I first showed up to your essay camp, I didn't actually know what like the essays were supposed to be and how many I was supposed to write and what they were about or any of that jazz. So I think sort of being prepared for what you have to do, I think that makes it much better, especially just in terms of mindset. And then the second thing is sort of not committing yourself, like thinking that one essay is everything to you or a specific part of your application is everything to you if it's sort of not going the right way. I think it's always like possible to find a different direction to go in and to create a new idea if an essay isn't working. So just not spending gobs of time on one specific aspect of your application, that I found that incredibly useful. Or looking back, I think it would be useful because I remember, I don't know, I think writing a Yale essay and it took me 2 days, and I think it was a terrible essay, like in the end. So I think being able and willing to sort of take a step back from what you've done and to reset, that's probably the one thing I wish I could do better.
Okay, so if you didn't pick that up, so many people, parents and students alike, and I don't know who's more shocked, right? I never know if it's more the parents or the students that are shocked about how much time this process takes. And many students who come to our essay camp are applying to top 30 colleges, top 100 colleges, which take a lot of supplemental essays. And so it's just, it's iteration after iteration with all of your essays. So, okay, now let's get to the good part. And I want to share where you're going. And then because I want to talk about the essay questions that they have, which I just love. So drum roll, please. Go ahead. On your card, it says that you were admitted to a number of schools, but share with everyone how you decided on where you're headed and tell us where you're headed.
All right. I think I may have accidentally dropped a hint, but yeah, it's the University of Chicago. Like I said, the environment, I think it's quite perfect for me. Just there's an environmental, and so it's kind of got this weird environment, or everyone says it's weird, just in terms of like the mix of like studious and creativity present there. But I think that's just wonderful. So yeah, I think that's why the University of Chicago is for me.
One of my favorite things about Chicago is their essay questions. And so explain a little bit, I can't remember what is the question. Is it where you get to choose you get a choice? I can't remember because you chose the I'm calling it the milk essay, but that's not what the essay question is. So explain what the process is for the supplements at Chicago.
Yeah, there's 2 essays. The first one is I think there's a number of different options. Like there's a list of 7 different prompts, and then the 8th one is like you could choose your own. I didn't do that, and I chose replace celestial object with something which I'd replace with milk. And then the second one is like sort of the more cliche, like why are you tailored to UChicago and all that. I don't exactly remember the question, but
Right.
yeah, I remember looking at the UChicago website and just being quite surprised at the divergence and stuff they're looking for in the essay as compared to maybe different colleges, just due to like, I don't know. It seems like they have a more creative focus, a more loose and informal and sort of just personal focus. So I found that quite interesting.
Yeah, I think that most people, including myself, I associate UChicago with such like reverence in terms of research, just a conventional type of institution. But I just always love, and if I remember correctly, Max, I think each of the 7 choices come from former students, right, or applicants, that they choose these 7 to give you as choice, and then of course the last one is to make one up of your own. So Max's milk essay will most definitely be in our sample packet probably for this coming up essay camp. So it was pretty great, pretty great. The last thing I want to just point out, and you can comment, I would love for you to comment on this. One of the things that I feel, and a number of coaches that we work with in essay camp felt really strongly about Max is that he really comes through in his essays as genuine to himself. And you don't get necessarily a sense of his dry humor here, and maybe he can give us a little joke, but every single essay, we could see who he is. We could see his sense of humor. We could see what his passions were. And we just pushed him to really, really be true to himself. So would you agree with that? Or how were you able to really come to terms with pushing yourself out of your comfort zone in those essays?
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I think I sort of came into the camp with this notion that I need to write a script, of who I was. And I think throughout the course, it was quite apparent through what you were telling me that a script is completely unnecessary and often useless. So I think learning how to not sort of follow like sort of the standard and to allow myself to write about what I want to write about and to have the confidence to do that was quite beneficial for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like what you just said, that to have the confidence to go with what I think most students feel like, you have to follow a rubric and, you have to do it this way. And it sort of slowly emerges that, you don't have to do that. And having the confidence to go for it is really takes courage. So you did a great job. I'm super proud of you. Congratulations. And let me just wrap up here and then we'll just both wave goodbye. But that was so great. It was such an honor to work with you. All right, hang on one second. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there you go. And now I think that was a little commercial also for UChicago. It's really is a great place, and I just love their essay questions. So if this episode has in any way fueled your confidence or helped to build your dreams, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. And if you do nothing else today, in addition to heading over to bigfuture.org, please join us on our Facebook group, Destination University, YOU, because the destination is not university, the destination is you. As you heard, Max and so many of our folks that we're interviewing this month, we're part of Essay Camp. So if you're interested in Essay Camp officially registration opens on Monday, April 11th. So you can join us then. And you can go to drcynthiacolon.com/essay camp to learn more. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you. Be sure to tune in every day this month to hear from more stories directly from our students. So wave goodbye, Max. Congratulations. So good. All right, wherever you are, may you have a happy and sunny day. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.